Now going to the theorem on equal ratios. Let us see what is the theorem on equal ratios. Why are we doing this in between the exercise? Because in the third question, we are using this theorem on equal ratios. What does it state? If A by B equal to C by D, then A by B equal to C by D is equal to, adding the numerators, it will be A plus C. Adding the denominators, it will be B plus D. So, A by B equal to C by D equal to A plus C upon B plus D. What are they trying to say? That if I have ratios which are single, you're saying that there is nothing adding to these ratios or to the numerator or to the denominator. These are single terms by themselves. Then I can add all the numerators also and say, adding all the numerators of all the ratios lined up upon adding all the denominators of the ratios lined up, that also will be equal to the same. Okay, so if I had here A and C as the numerators, A plus C will be the last numerator. If B and D were the denominators, B plus D will be the denominator of the last ratio. Say suppose we had one more ratio, E upon F. Then it would also be equal to A plus C plus E upon B plus D plus F. That means I can add all the numerators together and write upon all the denominators together and write. So this property is known as theorem on equal ratios. Now there is a small extension of this theorem on equal ratios. What does that state? If A by B equal to C by D equal to E by F, and this continues the number of ratios which are equivalent to each other. If this continues, and if L, M, N, they put dot dot dot, means there are many more multiples, are non-zero numbers such that L into B plus M into D plus N into F plus is not equal to 0. You can see that L is multiplying with the first denominator, LB. M is multiplying with the second denominator. N is multiplying with the third denominator. So if I add all this and they are not equal to 0, then what do I have? A upon B equal to C upon D equal to E upon F is equal to L into A plus M into C plus N into E. So we can have different multiples which are multiplying with each of the numerators also and added up, and the same sequence of multiples which are multiplied with the denominators also and added up. So it does not change. Not only can these constant numbers which are multiplying with the numerators be some numbers like constant numbers like 2 or 3 or 5 or 7, it can also have a minus sign, like it can be -1 or -7. So even if we are having minus in between, but if we are adding the corresponding numerator or subtracting the corresponding numerators and denominators, it will still remain the same. So this is the general form of the above theorem. When seeing this, you may get slightly confused. What does this mean? You will be able to understand this while we go through the sums, how we are able to tackle the sums using the theorem on equal ratios. Now, one important point I want to say while using this theorem on equal ratios is whenever we use this theorem on equal ratios, we are supposed to specify by using the theorem on equal ratios, each ratio equal to. Many a time students are not writing the statement, directly writing the answer. This statement, by using the theorem on equal ratios, each ratio equal to is Very important. We'll see in the sums where we are using that. Let us go to question number 3 where we have 5 subdivisions.